Welcome as always to Tales from the Nerd. I'm your host, a random nerd 2016 slash Kevin. Again, weekly podcast, talk about the books coming out every Wednesday. A lot of books, a lot of stuff. I'm excited. Favorite book of the week is, of course, Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin by Rai Parat. I love it. We got the reveal of the Green Ranger, which has been a mystery for a while now. I'm excited. I'm happy. This is a fun arc. If you want to pick up Mighty Morphin, go to your local comic book shop. And as always, we're going to go to the first book of the week, which is by DC Comics, Batman slash Catwoman number 3, written by Tom King, art by Clayman, colors by Tomo Mori, and he does the cover art, and the letterer is Clayton Coles. The price of the book is $4.99 because it is a black label book, so it could be in continuity or out of continuity. We know this is out of continuity because Batman never has a set future, so there's that. And the price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. The Bat and the Cat, Chapter 3. Selena Kyle knows this. Early in her career as Catwoman, he was there to mess things up for her. Same with later, when she and Batman are finally getting together for the third time, but still, that time stuck. No thanks to the Joker or to Phantasm, who now has her sights set on Catwoman because she thinks that will be her into get after the Joker herself, and she has to do it before Batman gets to him first. Um, Batman Catwoman is fine if you like Phantasm. I mean, it's your book right here. Other than that, it's an okay Black Label book. This is only 12 issues, so this is we're part 3 of 12, so it's going to be a long road ahead of us. This book was delayed for a bit because of COVID, and I talked about COVID. Yay, the pandemic. Let's go with that. But yeah. Also, what books did you read last week? And yeah, we got a lot of books. Sorry, I'm trying to do this quick because it's late. I want to go to bed. I can't record tomorrow because I got other stuff to do, and it's very late. So yeah. Good jumping on point? Not really. I mean, yes, because issue 6 would be your last jumping on point. So if you want to pick it up, there you go. Next up by Marvel Comics, Cable number 8, written by Gary Dugan, the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman, art and cover artist Phil Noto, and I keep tapping my microphone, and the letterer is Joe Sabino, and designer is Tom Mueller. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Lucky to meet you. Cable gets together with his intimate friend Domino long before they ever met. Will it be fortune encounter, or has Cable met his match? Yeah, Cable and Domino have a past a long time ago, but this is the younger Cable that's still Cable. I'm hoping we get older Cable back because we're having Krakoa and people come back. So as long as your memory's saved, so yay. Issue 7 is like your perfect jumping on point. If you didn't read Cable, Ten of Swords happened. They kind of go through like, yeah, I did this and that. We're doing a mystery. Mutant children are missing. Now I am gonna solve it. And that last issue, I'm like, oh my god, they're bringing this character back. I'm excited. Gary Dugan always pulling me through for Cable. I like it because I never had interest to Cable until Ten of Swords, and I said I'll pick up everything, and I like Cable. So there we go. Good jumping on. Just go pick up issues 7 and 8. And I forgot to put my little guys because I was such in a hurry. So let me go put that right there. Next up, we got by Marvel Comics, Captain America number 27, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, art by Leonard Kirk, and letter by Joe Sabino, and designer is Carlos Lau, and the cover art is by Alex Ross. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. All Die Young, Part 8. How Captain America Got His Mojo Back. Yeah, Captain America, it's alright. It's I think I'm getting bored of Captain America, to be honest. I was really excited. I think issue 25, the backup issue, was better than the main issue, but Man, I don't know what they want to do with this book. Hopefully, Ta-Nehisi Coates does something with the book to give it more energy because to have a Captain America book, you gotta bring it some life. I mean, I like the Falcon and Winter Soldier miniseries we got a couple months ago. That was cool with all the caps coming back, except we didn't get this cap back. I mean, Falcon's in this, Winter Soldier's in this, but I want to have that energy. I'm gonna be like, I want to read Captain America every week. It's okay. I mean, I forgot where you're jumping on because what, this is part eight? God, part eight. Jeez, I don't know where Ta-Nehisi Coates is gonna lead this, but yeah, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah, there's two more issues, so two more issues of that. I'm looking a little bit ahead, but yeah, Captain America, skip. Next up, we got by Marvel Comics Champions number 4, written by Eve L. Ewing, art by Bob Quinn, letter by Clayton Coles, designer is Carlos Lau, cover artist by Tony Infante. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Outlawed Part 4, guest starring Cyclops and the Marauders, Avast ye! Champions on the high seas, Nova, Ironheart, Miles, and Miss Marvel have narrowly escaped Cradle, now with the help of their old teammate, but out of the frying pan and into the ocean. Champions out, yeah, it's just Champions. The event outlawed at the moment. Cause yeah, a lot of stuff for the Outlaw thing never gonna happen. That New Warriors book, I doubt we're ever gonna see that book. Um, I was gonna buy it to see how bad it was. Cause man, that trailer did not help. But Champions, it's fun. Eve Ewing knows how to write each character, especially Ironheart. I love how she writes Ironheart, and I've read Ironheart most of her stuff. I didn't read her series. Brian Michael Bendis really put me in a bad sour taste for Riri Williams, but now yeah. But if you want to pick this up, pick up issue 1 of Champions because it's a good story arc, and I believe issue 5 is ending, and Eva Ewing is leaving the book, I believe, or she's ending her story. Yeah, because issue 6 is a new story arc. So issue 6 is a new story arc. So if you want to jump on, you could jump on there. But we're going to move on to a few DC titles. Future State, of course, my favorite segment of the DC books. We got Future State, Catwoman number 2, written by Ram V, art by Otto Schmidt, and cover artist by Liam Sharp. Price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The Great Train Robbery Part 2. Catwoman has clawed her way through half of the Magistrate's bullet train, but her fight only has just begun. Now with Onomatopoeia in tow, Selena makes her way toward the car carrying a ghost of her past, and Gotham's as well. It's Bruce Wayne, but is it really him? And with Talia al Ghul on board as well, will this be a long-awaited reunion between the Bat and the Cat, or will Selena's mission to rescue the Magistrate's prisoners go off the rails? Um, Ram V knows how to write Catwoman, to be honest. And you know what? I dig his stuff. Ram V, you're awesome. Good jumping on point? Not really, because this is the finale. Because, like I said before, Future State's only going to be like some issues are good. Oh, yeah. Most of the issues are 2 parts. Only the Batman book, yeah, the Dark Detective, and the new Batman are just 4-parters. That Superman book, I believe, is only 2 parts. Yeah, and then the Imperious Lex one's like 3 parts, but we won't get the finale for that until March, which is weird. And there's gonna be like that one shot. So yeah. Um Pick it up. You can pick up both issues when you're at the comic book shop. It's a fun little train heist. So there you go. Next up we got Future State Immortal Wonder Woman number 2, written by Michael Conrad and L.L. McKinney and Becky Cloonan. And the art is by Mark Morales and Aletha Martinez and Jen Bartel, who does the cover art as well, and I will say that cover art looks dope. And I think Immortal Wonder Woman, if you don't mind, had the best art of that week, and I believe it'll be the best colored and arted book of the week as well. The price is $5.99, and this is the description of the book. Immortal 101 Part 2, Nubia Part 2. The Undoing is here. Superman couldn't stop it. Darkseid couldn't stop it. Only Diana Prince is left to hold back the being that could spell to the complete disintegration of the cosmos. But will even she be powerful enough for the task? Meanwhile, in another future, Nubia's attempts to stop the thief of ancient artifacts have led her to an even bigger conspiracy and an even bigger foe. Cersei is up to her old tricks, even after all these years, and she has an offer that Nubia will find hard to refuse. Um, Part two, pick it up if you want. That future 101 story. I will say this: why is all the good Wonder Woman stories always set in the future? You know, DC, do you just want to set Wonder Woman in the future? Like, why is all her stuff in the future? That's write a good Wonder Woman book that's set in present day. America Atomic was writing something pretty fun, but I think she's off the book. I think one of these writers who's writing, I think Becky Cloonan's writing Wonder Woman. I might be wrong, but pick it up. The art's cool. The future story's cool. Nubia's part is it's all right. It has really good ideas. I want to see how this is all executed. So there we go. Pick it up. Issue 1 and 2 at the comic book shop. Next up, we got Future State Nightwing #2, written by Andrew Constant and art by Nicola Scott, and the cover art is by Yasmin Putri. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Once Upon a Night in Gotham Part 2. It's an all-new dynamic for the dynamic duo when Nightwing and Gotham's mysterious new Batman join forces against the Magistrate. But when the totalitarian force controlling the city declares the two heroes their primary targets, Nightwing will need to call on the full force of his hidden resistance, including two Batgirls, Huntress and Two-Face. But even then, will it be enough? Found out in this action-packed conclusion. Um, I will say this: the new Batman and Nightwing have the best banter. Because it's not Bruce. He's like he knows he's not Bruce, and I just like the banter between them. I just want to know: will this lead to the Teen Titans book? Because in the Teen Titans book, Dick is wearing the Deathstroke moniker. You know, he has that. Will that be hinted in that? I doubt it. Maybe it'll be something for that Teen Titans Academy book we're getting in March or April. Maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. It's fun. Nightwing is fun, and I can't wait for Tom Taylor to take over the book, which I will say, if you don't know who Tom Taylor is, Tom Taylor wrote Deceased. That's all you need to know. Next up, we got Future State Shazam #2, written by Tim Sheridan, art by Eduardo Pansica, and cover art by Bernard Chang. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Shazam's soul is laid bare as he is confronted by one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, revealing shocking secrets and the final fate of Billy Batson. The boy who was Earth's mightiest mortal. This issue introduces a dreadly new threat born from the ashes of the Teen Titans Academy, Raven. So, yeah. I kind of like Shazam more because there's more context to like what's going on to Shazam. You need to read like the first two parts to understand Shazam, because I was kind of lost. Like, so where's these guys? Because Teen Titans, what happened to these guys? But they're not in this. Is this in the future or is this somewhere else? And now I read Teen Titans. I'm like, now all kind of makes sense, and I appreciate the Shazam book. I liked it, but I didn't like all of it. Now I read there's context. I like it even more. Because the ending was just like, what the heck is that? Why is that character there? Why? And now I know why. I say pick up 1 and 2 when you're at the comic book shop. It's pretty good. Next up, we got Future State Superman World of War #2, written by Becky Cloonan, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Brandon Easton, Michael Conrad, Jeremy Adams. That's a lot of writers. Art by Valentine DeLandro and Sia Aung, and Gleb Melnikov, yeah, and Michael Janin, who does the cover art. The price of the book is $7.99, and this is the description of the book. Superman Worlds at War Part 2, Midnighter Part 2, Black Racer Part 2, Mr. Miracle Part 4. Meet the rising champion of the gladiatorial pits of War Worlds, Superman! The Man of Steel is still down in the pits, duking it out with Mongols' hordes and working his way up to the big boss himself. But since it's Superman, there has to be more to this than a simple determination to win the title belt, right? Yes, because he's also got Midnighter out there on a mission to chase down a dangerous new power source. But the man standing in his way is too familiar. Plus, the Black Racer smashes her way to freedom, and Mr. Miracle, now trapped on Warworld himself, has to find his way back to the bottle city of Metropolis, and his only mode of transportation is a busted boom tube. Yeah. So this will end like all the Superman Metropolis stories of Mr. Miracle, which they kind of went out of order. Funny enough, uh, Future State was just a jumble of, yeah, we're gonna have these, but we're gonna spoil the books at the same time. Um, I liked that we got a cool Superman story. We didn't get a lot of Superman, but the idea is cool. It's the idea of like, what is the idea of Superman? Is it cool because he has powers, or is it cool because he does what's right? And I like that. I just didn't like that we didn't get a lot of Superman. Hopefully, this issue is just like last issue was just like the premise, and now we're getting like that action packed thing because you got Michael Janin doing the art, and man, that cover looks dope. Which I already posted right here. That cover looks so dope. I don't want to justify picking this up because one, it's $7.99. It's too much. It should have been $5.99. Basically, the stories that had like you know two stories should have been $4.99. These should have been $5.99. Because trust me, DC, if you put it at $5.99, more people would have picked it up. Because on my comic book shop shelves, there's a bunch of these copies. But if you're there, you can pick it up. I'm not going to justify picking it up. Next up, we got Future State, The Next Batman, #4, written by John Ridley, Vita Ayala, and Paula Sevenbergen, and art by Emanuela Lapuccino and Aneke and Lara Braga, and colors by FCO Placencia and Trish Mulvihill, and cover artist by Jose Ladron. The price of the book is $7.99, and this is the description of the book. The Next Batman, Chapter 4, Batgirls Part 2, Gotham City Sirens Part 2. The next Batman goes head to head with magistrates, shock troops to protect the guilty. It's a savage reunion battle across Gotham City, and we'll have to wait. We'll have the next Batman, the next Dark Knight, fighting overwhelming odds to prove that justice still lives in the heart of a broken city. In the finale of Batgirls, after discovering the person locked in the high security cell is the one who's been sending out Batman Lives signals to the Resistance, Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain Cassandra Cain must work together to make sure they take the person when they escape their prison. Plus, in this conclusion of Gotham City Sirens, Catwoman and the new android Siren hide out in Poison Ivy's newly built paradise, where they discuss their past relationships, including what Catwoman has or had with Batman. But when Peacekeeper forces arrive, the new Siren will have to make a sacrifice to save her friends. The next Batman, take it or leave it. I mean, 7.9, too much money. I pick it up because I'm doing a whole podcast. I also like reading comics. Uh, I like this new next Batman. It's just we got that, and then we got these stories that if you put it out there, I wouldn't read. If you knocked it out to $5.99, I could have justified like picking this up because I've been like, I got more story for my buck. I feel like I didn't get enough story for my book because I got it for Batman, and I don't get a lot of Batman. Uh, this is the finale for this Future State Batman. Will we see more of this Batman? Most likely, because they promoted the crap out of this character. So I think we'll see him more in the future. And we're gonna move on to Marvel Comics because that's it for Future State this week. I think next week is most of the Future State titles are ending. Yeah, all the Future State titles are ending already. Most of this month. But yeah, Marvel Comics, we got Guardians of the Galaxy number 11, written by Al Ewing, art by Juan Cabal, colors by Federico Blee, and letter by Corey Petit, and cover artist by Rafael Albuquerque. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Here we make our stand. The gods are coming. The Olympian gods are returning to our universe, and they're taking their exile at Peter Quill's hands very personally. To stop them, the Guardians return to the place the team was born, but will facing their past and their annihilation war help them survive their future. Everything changes in two. Yeah. Lift off. Basically, after next issue will be the final of this lift off story arc. So Al Ewing's just like, okay, we're doing this because we're gonna set up the future of Guardians of the Galaxy. Because issue 13 will have a new character join the Guardians, which you know what, I'm excited for. New jumping on point as well for people because Guardians by Al Ewing is really cool space adventure. So if you want to pick it up, you need to pick up 10 issue 9. Issue 9 is like where you're heading to this new story arc, and it jumps into King in Black really quick, and that's it. I think I only had one King in Black tie, and that's it, which is I find funny. But good jumping on point, not really, but issue 13 will be your jumping on point. Next up, by Marvel Comics, Immortal Hulk Flatline number 1, written. It is written and drawn and cover arted by Declan Shalvey. The price of the book is $4.99 because it is a one shot. The price of $4.99. Let's go to the description of the book. One creator, one Hulk, one superstar story. Declan Shelby writes and draws an immortal Hulk tale that gets to the heart of Gamma. Every morning, Bruce Banner wakes up in a new place. The Hulk is trying to tell him something, but Bruce has had enough of his green-veined altars. When a new gamma-powered villain shows up in a small New Mexico town, Bruce is forced to confront the source of his anger, and it's not what you expect. Don't miss this. Don't miss an extraordinary tale from one of the industry's top talents. Mortal Hulk Flatline. So if you want to know more about Immortal Hulk, pick it up. I'm picking it up because I like Immortal Hulk, and we've only had a Tom Taylor one shot and a Jeff Lemire one shot, and then that tie into King in Black, which is cool. I would have liked some dialogue, but it was okay. But yeah, good jumping on point. Next up, we got by Marvel Comics, Iron Fist, Part of the Dragon number 2, written by Larry Hama, art by David Watcher, and covers by Billy Tan. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. The heavenly cities are coming to Earth, and they're bringing hell with them. Danny voyages into the heart of heaven, only to find his destination lies elsewhere. The hellish hidden eighth city. What is the dark force behind the ancient gate that stands locked in the heart of the eighth city? The only way to stop the ravaging hordes is to bring the heavenly cities to Earth. But will even that be enough? Iron Fist. This is part 2 of a 5-part miniseries. So issue 1 had a good premise. I don't think it was for everyone. I just want an Iron Fist book. I'm happy I got an Iron Fist book. Is the story gonna be good? We'll see. Because I kind of know what's going on, but I need more stuff. Taskmaster showed up last issue. That was cool. So yeah. Next up, we got Iron Man. Well, Marvel Comics Iron Man number 6, written by Christopher Cantwell, art and cover artist by Kafu, and cover art by Alex Ross as well. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Dreams of Decide. The Books of Korvac Part 2 begins. After receiving a near-fatal injury from Korvac, Iron Man lands in emergency triage with his life on the line. Halcyon and Misty Knight work quickly to lock Tony in his armor and stanch his injuries, but now He can't take it off or else he'll die. With pieces of metal literally holding his body together, Tony regroups with his allies, all while trying not to give into his rage over being bested by Korvac. With Hellcat on the psychological ropes and his other hero compatriots recuperating from their near-death experiences, can Tony muster what he needs in order to chase Korvac out into space and stop the mad demigod God's quest for ultimate power? Perhaps War Machine is just the friend Tony could use in this moment, but James Rowe might only be there to bench a maniac and batter Tony from action so that he doesn't get killed. Still, as always, Tony has never been good at taking no for an answer. Iron Man, I think it's picking up. It has some weak areas, I will say that, but I like the story. I think it's heading to a good direction. We got Korvac as a villain, a space villain, which kind of in the realm for Tony, but not really. So I like it. It's good and a good jumping on point. Next up, we get another Marvel book, King in Black #4, written by Ryan Stegman and Peach Momoko. Oh, cool! And art by Peach Momoko, and cover art and penciler by Ryan Stegman, inker and cover art by J.P. Mayer, colorist and cover artist by Frank Martin, colorist by Arif Piancho, letterer by Clayton Crowles, designer by Anthony Gambino and Patrick McGrath. Yep. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is a description of the book. Chapter 4, Lightning. What's a god to a king? King in Black. Really fun book, really fun, series. Event. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Event. Yeah, we're getting issue. I think this is only going to issue 5, if I believe. Yeah, issue. It's only going to issue 5, so we're pretty close to the end of King in Black. So it's here. It's almost done. I'm happy, and also especially after issue 3 with Thor. Oh, that was so cool to see Thor and Noel meet, because that's what I've been saying for a while. Like, why haven't Noel and Thor met? In issue 3, they met. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this. Yeah, we got another Marvel book, and it's Marauders #18, written by Gary Dugan. The head of X himself, of course, is Jonathan Hickman. Art by Stefano Caselli and Matteo Lolli, and colors by Edgar Delgado, and letter by Corey Patet, and designer is Tom Mueller, and cover art by Matt Wilson and Russell Dodderman. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The past is not the past. The Marauders return to Madripoor to pay tribute to a fallen friend, but all the while old enemies are being forged anew. I believe you could jump on right now. Yeah, because issue 16 is your jumping on point. Issue 16. Because it's been a while since Marauders. I've read Marauders, even though it came out last month. A lot of books have been coming out, so I'm like, is this a good jumping on point? I guess so. But yeah, I would say just pick up issue 16. Everything will be easier. Next up, we got more Marvel books. Miles Morales, Spider-Man #23, written by Saladin Ahmed, art by Carmen Carnero, and colors by Arif Piranto, and letter by Corey Patet, cover arts by Tarun Clark. Clark, yeah. The price of the book is $39.99, and this is the description of the book. There are simian dragons in Brooklyn, but that's not the worst thing Miles has to face today. Noel has taken one of his best friends and is using them to go after the Spider-Man he met back in Absolute Carnage. Will Miles sacrifice his friend to save himself? A King Black tie-in. Miles, yeah, I knew he was gonna be tied into this King Black event because he had his own 3-issue miniseries, written, of course, by Solid and Mad, but in Absolute Carnage. So seeing, it just being tied to this, I'm down. So there's a good jumping on for Miles. Yeah, if you want to read Miles right now, you should go right now. We are going to the next book by Boom Studios, Wanted Feature #16, written by Kieron Gillen. Art, cover art by Dan Mora, and colors by Tamara Bonvillain. The letter is by Ed Dukeshire, and designer is by Scott Newman. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Surrounded by British government forces, Nemu calls for backup, but will Merlin and Galahad help stop the opposition or expose Britain to the truth? Meanwhile, Bridget and Duncan are trapped in the other world, and blocking their exit is Arthur's greatest knight, Lancelot. I will say, One to Feature is really picking up steam right now. I love this book. I'm happy I started reading this book because it's its own spin in the Arthurian legend, and it's totally worth the read. Pick up the trade. Pick up the first trade. Have fun. We got by the next comment is by Vault Comics, and the name of the book is Picture of Everything Else #2, written by Dan Waters, art and cover art by Kishore Mohan. The price of the book is $3.99. And this is a description of the book. Marcel has abandoned painting for the glamorous world of criticism, but a monster has returned to Paris with a fustian offer he cannot refuse. Old wounds will be opened, new wounds will be formed with paintbrush and gun smoke. I will say, it's a book about an artist, but the man who does art has a secret to his art, and it's deadly, and it's awesome. I will leave you at that premise. Pick up issue 1 because I love this book. It's written by Dan Waters, who's writing one of my favorite indie books right now, Homesick Pilots. He's done some future state stuff, so I'm starting to get his work. So there we go. Picture of Everything Else. Pick up issue 1 and 2 when you're at the comic shop. Okay, next up by Boom Studios, Power Rangers #4, written by what the heck? There's no. Oh wow. Let me just go. Wow, there's no description of the book, which is very weird. But I'm guessing it's done by the same people. So we're gonna go with it's written. Yeah, Power Rangers #4, written by Rand Perot, art by Francesco Mortirano, and covers by Mattel Scalera. Because it looks like it's done by it's done by Mattel Scalera. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Return to Shattered Grid. The unlimited power era continues as the new Power Rangers and Lord Draken return to the new universe, and that Draken created in Shattered Grid. But will Draken choose to save the new Power Rangers from the surprising threat waiting there for them, or will he betray them? Yeah, pick. Basically, you want to start from issue 1. I'll let you know from that point, because stuff happens, and Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers go together. It's I will say this: if the first 2 issues go together, but as time goes on, they will intertwine and create this massive story. That's what I'm thinking of right now, because they usually go Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's probably a reason why it's separated. It's gonna make a good conclusion or crossover, so I'm down. Yeah, pick up issue 1. Next up, we got a Marvel book, Savage Avengers #18, written by Gary Dugan, art by Kev Walker, and the cover art is by Valerio Giangiordano. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Chapter 18, Black Skies Part 2. Through Hellfire and Deadpool, Conan, Deadpool, and the Night Flyer escape Rikers in the endless night during the reign of the King in Black. What crazy heist will ruin Deadpool's 30th anniversary? Here's a hint. It involves the Hellfire Club. So yeah, more Deadpool. So, of course, as you know, we just finished Deadpool #10, which was the unfortunate series finale of Deadpool. So, to see Deadpool back, I'm happy. And it's written by Gary Dugan, so Gary Dugan knows how to write Deadpool. He wrote the finale for his Despicable Deadpool run, the Sad Clown run. So to see Gary Dugan write Deadpool, I'm like so excited. Pick up issue 17 to know what's going on. Next up by Skybound Comics. Well, it's really Image. I recently found out Skybound is owned by Image. So yeah. So it's an Image comic. Image with Skybound, Stillwater #6, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mike Spicer, and cover artist by Ramon Perez. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. End of story arc. The first arc of Skybound's newest hit horror series ends here. After the last issue's explosive cliffhanger, everyone's least favorite officer, Ted, takes the law into his own hands. So, it looks like it's ending or it's going to take a break. So, I will say this also for something that's killing children, it's going to take a break. I was wrong. I didn't think it was ending. And also, Undiscovered Countries taking a break. So, yeah. If you want to pick this up, pick it up in trade. A lot cheaper, and it's a fun read. And the whole premise is: what if a town can't die? What is there to live for? So there's your premise for like the whole Stillwater book. We're gonna move on to the next book, but before that, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, all my it's in the description down below at a random nerd. Also, if you want to follow my friend who does music, his Instagram is down below. I still gotta find those files. I'm a lazy man ish. I'm not lazy. And the your comic book shop locator.com is also in the description. And the websites I use to, do my information for the book or to buy books, to do research like what's going on ahead. It's gonna be midtowncomics.com and leagueofcomicgeeks.com. And now we're gonna move on to the next book by IDW Publishing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin #2, written by Tom Waltz, Peter Laird, Kevin Eastman, and Kevin Eastman does the cover art, and art is also done with Ezeu Escorza, Isaac Escorza. The price of the book is $8.99, and this is a description of the book. Secrets are revealed as we begin to discover what happened in the past to lead to this nightmarish future. The last Ronin meets an unexpected new ally, but the Foot Clan begins an exhaustive sweep of the bottom to find the vengeful mutant. And what role does Baxter Stockman play? This book's been heavily delayed since God. When was the first issue came in November, and it's just been delayed. I think this came out in October. Wait. Let me look it up. This came out October 28th. It's been a long time. October, November, let's go November, December, January. 3 to 4 months we haven't had the Last Ronin. Everyone's been wondering like when we're gonna get the Last Ronin. We've had 3 printings of the Last Ronin. We're getting director's cut Last Ronin, but to see issue 2 finally come, I'm excited. If you want to read this, pick it up. The first 2 issues are available right now in their second and third printings, and we're getting director's cut. So if you couldn't get the printings, go get the director's cut because you get the behind the scenes of how the artist draw the book. So there you go. Pick it up. Yep. Next up, we got Marvel Comics, Thor #12, written by Donny Cates, art by Nick Klein, colors by Matt Wilson, and designer and leader Joe Sabino, cover artist by Laura Martin and Olivier Coipel. The price of the book is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Prey Part 4, Dr. Foster and Dr. Foster and Blake, ready your scalpels. Once upon a time, Jane Foster and Donald Blake were more than friends. With Blake at her side, Jane could have shared the very throne of Asgard. Now they're about to become the bitterest of enemies, and if Valkyries fall, she'll have lost more than a crown. All the 10 realms are at stake, not to mention the life of Allfather Thor. So, yeah, to see Donald Blake as a villain, I like that because Marvel has not done anything with Donald Blake. When does I believe issue 9 is the jumping off point? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, issue 9 is the jumping off point to see what's going on. And I will say, Thor has been on a roll that I haven't seen Thor run in a while. So there you go. Next up, the last book of the week, it is by DC Comics, Truth and Justice #1, written by Geoffrey Thorne, art and art by Jordi Tarragona, and art and cover arts by Chris Cross. The price of the book is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Vixen takes center stage in the doubt issue of this new team-up series. Mari McCabe is many things: superhero, model, activist, but can she add God Killer to the list? Vixen teams up with Dr. Mist and Impala of the Global Guardians to face down an ancient deity that's taken over the body of a scientist investigating powerful magical artifacts. Vixen will need to dig deep and use all the abilities in the animal kingdom to face down this powerful primeval threat. So to see Vixen in a book, I'm like, yes, because we haven't seen her in a mainline book since Justice League of America. I think she did appear in Justice League by Scott Snyder at some point because they were doing that big battle. But to see her, front center in a mainline book, I'm happy. And yeah, that's all the books of the week. It's a lot of books. Like I said, I think next week is lighter. I think. Maybe not. I don't know. But please take care, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below what comics you're excited for. And as always, take care. Well, before that, let's see what this guy says. How can I do? Yeah, alright. Take care, everyone, and peace.